Hello and welcome, my name is Will and this is part 2 of the Painting Pallid Hand Death Guard series. Last time we got the models to tabletop quality, but this time we're going to add a few more details to bring them to that next level, while still keeping it simple and easy to achieve. Let's have a look. First up, we are going to use a technique called layering. This is in its most basic form and a good introduction to the technique of applying one colour straight over another to get a gradient. Don't be intimidated though, what we're going to do is first of all paint the teeth and any remaining bones in Pallid witch flesh. Put a bit of paint on your palette and thin with a drop of water and apply 2 thin coats. After that's dried, we're going to paint white scars straight over the top, but leaving the edges of the teeth unpainted this time to give a gradient between the bright white and the underlying off-white. Again, you can use 2 thin coats of slightly watered down paint here. And that's all we're going to do for layering this time. I kept this scheme simple for myself as I had so many models to paint I didn't fancy going overboard, especially on troops. It's looking pretty good already with the bright teeth contrasting with the dark demon flesh. If these look too clean to you, you could always add some dribbling goo or blood splatter with the Nurgle's Rot and Blood for the Blood God technical paints, if you want that sort of thing. Next we are going to pick out any eyes or orbs on the models in yellow, again using a basic layering technique of just 2 shades. I'm going to use Avalanche Sunset Yellow as a base colour and paint the entire eye. Water down the paint a little on the palette and be extra careful not to get any on the dark demon flesh bits because it's a bit of a pain to clean up. For the second shade of yellow, I'm going with a much brighter Flash Gits Yellow, and just like the teeth, I'm going to do a tiny yellow patch in the middle of the yellow eyes and orbs, leaving the darker yellow around the edges. Once again, thin the paint, and you only need a tiny bit for this. To finish the eyes, I'm going to use a minuscule bit of Abaddon Black for the pupils. On big eyes, I paint a thin vertical oval like a cat's eye, but on small eyes, I just do a tiny dot right in the middle. Next is a time-consuming but very important technique for improving your painting abilities, and that's called edge highlighting. It's the main technique employed in the Games Workshop product images to make the models really pop without a huge amount of skill involved. It's just about my level, really. I'm going to take Wraithbone base paint for this and thin it down on the palette with a little water and, taking a fine brush, trace the pronounced edges of the armour in this light cream colour. It gives the illusion of light reflecting off the sharp angles of the armour. It's definitely worth the time it takes to do this. These models are looking really good now, despite me not being a master painter, clearly. On to the final detail now, and that's another edge highlight, this time on the pink fabric. I'm going to use Pink Horror for this. As always, I thinned the paint on a palette and traced around the sharp edges and folds in the fabric with a nice thin line of pink. Painting on the raised folds like this helps to add depth. And we're all done. The edge highlighting really makes a difference in the look of the models and is a great technique if you're looking to improve your models to the next step. There are still a few tiny details I didn't focus on really, like all the maggots and flies, they just had a quick wash in green. That's the one downside of these Plague Marine models, they're almost too detailed, with each one being like a character in its level of detail. It's easy to go over the top on them, I think. So what do you think? Obviously not a master paint job, but I'm pleased with them. Now to finish the rest of my army. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. As always, I'll leave some affiliate links in the description below for the paint that I've used in this video. These are all at a discount and help support the channel, so it's a win-win for everybody. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.